All right, good morning, everyone. We do have a lot to talk about, so let's begin by taking a look at what we have going on across portions of the United States this morning. Notice we do have quite a few watches and warnings. Those are flood warnings across the southeastern half of the United States, quite a bit of convection down there. They've been getting a lot of rain there across Alabama into the Carolinas. Not a whole lot other than that going on today. The SPC does have a marginal risk in place across eastern portions of Alabama, almost the entire state of Georgia, Florida into South Carolina. There is also a small marginal risk across Montana into northwestern North Dakota. I don't think this is going to be a big deal today. I think maybe some gusty winds, maybe some hail here and there. And as we move into tomorrow here, I don't think we're going to have any severe weather tomorrow. And the SPC risk kind of highlights that. There's, three general areas of just, general thunderstorm risk. And as we move into day 3 or Wednesday the 14th, we do have a marginal risk in place across the Dakotas into Nebraska and extreme western portions of Minnesota and Iowa. I do think this could possibly be upgraded to a slight risk, but that's probably about all we're going to have. Day 4 here, this is the big day. The SPC already has a 15% or a slight risk in place across Illinois, Indiana, down into Tennessee, Wisconsin, and Michigan. I do think this can be expanded and even upgraded to a 30% risk across central Illinois into Indiana, down into, southeastern Wisconsin. And this is the CSU MLP guidance, the experimental guidance, and this is highlighting the more, enhanced probabilities for severe weather. Notice these deeper areas kind of focus across, east central Illinois into Indiana. And this is what the GFS is showing. This is Thursday morning. Look at this CAPE here. A strong 988 millibar low pressure system, and there's already, quite a bit of CAPE out there. And this is just going to be fuel for storms. The only thing that could inhibit storms from forming is the capping inversion that is in place in the atmosphere. But this is not something you want to see with a dynamic low pressure system with this. And we're gonna have a lot of energy just out there. It's pretty much it's a lot of rocket fuel, pretty much is what it is. And this is our moisture. Look at that, 70-degree dew points across pretty much the entire slight risk area. And this is why I think it could be upgraded. I think the Euro is doing, giving a more accurate picture of what the convection is going to look like. And notice it also has a very strong 986 millibar low pressure system. And this is Thursday afternoon. Look at that line of storm that forms. I do think the southern half of this will have the best chance for discrete supercells, while the northern half will probably, have a more linear setup or linear mode of severe weather. I do think discrete supercells are possible across Illinois and Indiana. And notice, it's not showing a whole lot of convection in these areas. And, that is kind of concerning, just because, that could mean one of two things. It could mean the cap is holding, or it could mean, we're going to have more isolated, supercellular thunderstorms as opposed to linear segments, which could increase the tornado threat significantly. That's pretty much, all we're looking at on Thursday. As we move forward, here's the Northern Illinois University's extended severe weather, forecast here. And as you can see, we're in a kind of slow period right now over the next few days. But beginning as early as Wednesday or Thursday, we could, we're pretty much going to be entering a very active 5 to 7 day period of severe weather. I do think there's going to be some pretty solid, chances of severe weather across the United States over the next week or so. Notice those deeper colors; those are the more, enhanced probabilities of severe weather. And this is just, combining a bunch of different model runs. But basically, that's pretty much all I got. Thank you guys for watching. make sure you hit that subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter at StormfrontWX. I will have a video out tomorrow and Wednesday, and I will keep you guys updated as new model runs come in and as new data comes in. But other than that, that's all I got. Thank you guys.